Our father, Gbajabiamila, Joe Odumakin, allow me to single out this and indulge me as I stand on the protocol as already established. And of course, the governor of our dear state. I'm not going to stand here today and pretend that I knew the man, Yinka Odumakin, like many of you did. We had our encounters, good encounters, if I must say. But my knowledge of him was more from the distant. My knowledge of him was based on admiration of his qualities, of what he stood for, of what he represented, and of who he was. I was out of the country when the unfortunate incident took place. And that's why I said to myself today, I left the National Assembly where I was presiding and decided that today I must come to pay my last respects. I came to know from the distant a man who had been through so much vicissitudes of life, twists and turns, but who in all of it stood straight. When you talk about profile and courage, I'm not sure, like many have attested to today, that you can count on one hand any whose name will come before Yinka Odumakin. There lies a man of courage. There lies, to my left, a man of integrity. There lies a true Democrat, a man who stood for truth and nothing else. I couldn't help but listen to, as I was watching the documentary, I don't know when he uttered those words. The words were very profound. He did not think that him or anyone should come to life, come to this world, pass through the world, and when he dies, people would gather in a church, talk about his birth, talk about his school, talk about the associations that he kept. To him, such a person would not have lived life. Clearly, today, we're not talking much about his school. We're not talking much about the circumstance of his birth. We're talking about his service. And I believe when Baba Gbajabiamila said he is here at his age and resisted every temptation and broke the barriers of culture to come and pay honor to his son, who is way older than. He said he did it, not for age, but for service. Those words continue to reverberate in my head. And I think I want to take away from today's program, and I want us all to take away from today's program what we heard and what we watched in that documentary. What do you want to be remembered for? Is it your character? Is it your service to mankind? Or do you just want to be remembered that, oh yes, there was a person, such and such a person, born on such and such a date, went to such and such a school? It's the only way that we can honor our friend, our brother. To Job, there are no words that can describe your pain when Paolo, incidentally, whose philosophy Yinka Odumakin followed to his death, when he described his wife as a jewel of inestimable value, I think it is right to describe you as Yinka's jewel of inestimable value. Rarely do you find husband and wife in the trenches. Most times, even politically, not to talk about activism, even politically, most times the wife will stay at home, would worry for the husband, but no, you stood strong, you stood shoulder to shoulder, your voices cried out loud, not for yourselves, but for Nigeria and for humanity. For this, we owe you an eternal debt of gratitude. And may the Almighty God continue to give you the strength and the fortitude to bear your irreparable loss. Thank you very much, and God bless.